So I don't know if you guys saw the Robert Kennedy campaign announcement.
I am not going to take people's guns away.
He said some pretty good things. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Cali 2A. My name is Matt. If this is your first time to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on so you don't miss any upcoming content that I might post. I know there's going to be a lot of angry liberal Democrats after this.
You know, I have spent a lot of my life in rural communities in this country, and there is a gun culture in those communities that is closely tied to people's identities. And so those people, that a large group of Americans see it as almost an existential threat. When people in my political party and people like myself say to them that we're going to take your guns away, and it hasn't worked. But going after people's guns at this point in history, to me, is just going to cause more polarization and make it so that we can't listen to each other anymore, because we get put into these kind of tribal silos which we have to somehow figure out a way to get past.
So he said it right there. This constant battle to infringe on our Second Amendment rights is going to do absolutely nothing but create more division, whereas this side versus this side, and there's no seeing eye to eye. There's no conversation to be had. And I hate to say it, but somebody's going to have to admit that they were wrong. That's the only way we move forward from this. That's the only way we find solutions. If you have two people that are trying to solve one problem, but one person is in denial about what the problem is, how are the two people supposed to come together and solve the problem? It's impossible. Again, one side is going to have to admit they were wrong. Us in the gun culture and in the gun community, we know who's wrong. Let's continue watching.
There has never been a time in human history when strangers would walk into a room of children and begin shooting people. What happened? You know, we had guns when I was a kid. I went to school where we had a gun club in the school, and kids would come with their rifles to school. And nobody even imagined that somebody would go in that school and start shooting children. There's other countries that have almost as many guns as we do, like Switzerland, that don't have school shootings. So what is going on here? The last school shooting in Switzerland was 21 years ago. We have school shootings every 21 hours. One of the things we need to look at are SSRIs. There is one study that shows that at least 23% of school shootings have that the shooter was at the time or prior or before was on SSRIs. So, and if you look at the label, the manufacturing the insert for these drugs, they say on them homicidal and suicidal ideation and action. So it's not insane to say we should look at this. Something changed in our country that started this, and it's not the guns. Because we've always had the guns.
He just said it again. Now, don't get me wrong. I know how these whole presidential talks go when we're leading into elections. These people, they start talking a bunch, saying a bunch of stuff that sounds good. All these things they're going to do. A majority of it never gets done. But some of the things that he's saying when it comes to the culture aspect of the firearms community, it hits me in a deeper way. It hits me in a whole different way. When I first got into owning firearms and I went through the process of getting my permit to carry firearms, I was talking to my wife one night. I think we walked to a store or something and walked back, and Like, I almost, as sad as this sounds, I almost came to tears because being around people and having a firearm on you and knowing that if somebody who's mentally unstable came in with a firearm with ill intentions, just looking at a human being next to me in the store that I don't even know and knowing I would do all that I could to protect that person if I was in a position to be able to, I had immediately a greater respect and a greater appreciation for human beings and life. That's what you get out of law-abiding citizens. You don't get mentally unstable people that want to go into schools with young children and cause harm. That's what the mainstream media is telling you guys. I guarantee, I don't know what the statistics would realistically be, so I'm lying right now, but I wouldn't doubt it if at least 98% of law-abiding citizens that own firearms, you will never find out that they did something to cause harm on children in any way. Most of us are for the people. Most of us are there to protect ourselves, to protect our family, to protect our friends, protect our neighbors, protect our communities. And that's all I got for you guys. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, share, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.